Welcome back to Real Estate Resource TV, where we give you the most important details on the Seattle real estate market. Our guest today is Kim O'Dales, one of the top real estate agents in all of Seattle. Hi, Kim. Welcome to Real Estate Resource TV. So glad to have you.
Thank you, Ben. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. You know, you work with a lot of buyers, and with buyers right now, you're seeing a lot of multiple offers. Tell us a little bit about what's going on in the real estate world and how multiple offers are affecting it specifically.
Well, I think the whole process is threefold right now. We are seeing a lot more multiple offers. This probably started about 90 days ago in both the Seattle and Bellevue market. It's at all different price points. Obviously, the higher price points, we're seeing less multiple offers. But I think what's happened, it's a combination of three things. One, interest rates are remaining low. They continue to even go slightly lower, which has gotten buyers kind of off the fence and into the marketplace. B, that has gotten sellers excited. They've felt really beaten down these past few years, and all of a sudden they have more than one person making an offer on their house. And then C, the volume, though, of listed homes is much less than it's been the past few years. So all those three things together have made for a much more rapid, vibrant, stressful market for buyers.
So when people are out there and there's multiple offers on a property, the real estate agents actually are huge advocates for them. What role does communication play between agents and their buyers and sellers in today's market?
Well, I think the communication on the listing agent side is key because that individual wants to keep the buyer's agents, and there many times more than one, abreast of what's going on with the process. Many times there's a specific time that the offer can be reviewed. Many times it's in person. Some agents prefer emails. I prefer to present an offer because when you present an offer, you're really presenting your client. And I think, quite honestly, we make a lot of money in what we do, and I think that we need to be there for our clients all the way through. The other thing you need to do is educate those buyers. In a multiple offer situation, you just can't go in with your standard offer, full price offer, and call it a day. Many times you need to do a pre-inspection, you need to do a sewer scope, you need to reduce your timelines, financing, earnest money, everything comes into play much more than if you're the only game in town.
And so when people are out there doing these pre-inspections, it really means the buyer has to know what they're buying before they just go in and think it's a slam dunk deal?
That's correct. With the pre-inspection, it's not just a matter of doing a pre-inspection. You're doing it because you want to waive that part of the inspection process. You want to reduce that to make your offer look stronger. So if you do a pre-inspection and you find out that the roof needs to be replaced or there's some other issue, you need to realize if there are other multiple offers, there's a high probability that those other individuals are doing pre-inspections too. And the whole point of the pre-inspection is to remove that addendum from your offer to make your offer stronger.
So removing contingencies is a big piece of that. What are some other techniques that you use to make people's offers stronger?
Well, what we're seeing a lot of right now too, amazingly enough, and this is at every price point, is, quote, the cash offer. Now, the cash offer is a little bit of a tricky offer in that, you know, all offers, quite honestly, as you know, are cash offers because you're getting cash from the bank and you're bringing cash in for closing. But what the cash offer is saying is that you do not have a financing contingency attached to your offer. So it's one less contingency that the buyer could fall back on and not move forward on the process. So if you've eliminated your financing contingency and you've eliminated your inspection contingency, all of a sudden you have an extremely clear offer. Sellers love that, right? Because you're not going to come back and try to nitpick them on an inspection. You can't walk on your financing because you don't have any. So it's stressful for the buyers, though, because all of a sudden their earnest money can be in jeopardy.
And money is a big part of the game. And of course, sellers obviously want more money when they're selling their house. What are some strategies that you use for buyers to actually get the house, even if they're willing to pay more than the listing price?
Well, in this whole process of multiple offers, there's this process called the escalator clause. This is a whole separate addendum that is attached to the buyer's offer. And what the escalator clause does, you can do it in any increment you want, but you need to have a ceiling price. So for example, let's say it's a $400,000 house. and there are 6 buyers who are vying for this house. And let's say all 6 buyers have removed their inspection contingency. Maybe some are cash offers. So A, it has to be over the asking price. That's been established. So if you make an offer under $400,000, you're not going to get the house. But let's say you start your offer at $400,000 and you do increments of increases up to a certain ceiling. So maybe client A is doing $2,500 escalators up to $425,000, and maybe the other person is doing it up to $430,000. It's kind of this hopscotch jumping game of all these escalators to a point where the top person wins.
Well, hopscotch is an interesting way to buy real estate. Wouldn't people just make $1 escalators?
Well, you would think so. It's really interesting. I know I always use odd numbers. It's kind of this funny little trick that I try to do because, quite honestly, when you're representing the buyer, you don't want them to leave a ton of money on the table. So, the higher your escalator is as far as numerically. So if you're doing a $5,000 escalator, another person's doing $1,000, and the $1,000 person has hit their cap, but you're $5,000, you're going to pay $4,000 more that I don't think you need to pay. So I try to keep it lower than that to assist my buyers.
Thanks a lot, Kim. It's great information. And of course, here to comment on the mortgage side of things is our resident expert, Ryan Leopold. Your thoughts, Ryan?
Yeah, and I think when it comes to people making offers on homes today, the strength of that pre-approval is probably more important now than it ever has been because of the multiple offer situation. In fact, a lot of times lenders will actually field phone calls from a listing agent because they want to judge how strong of a buyer is making an offer on their home, and they want to judge the strength of the lender representing that buyer.
Well, Ryan Leopold, Kim O'Dales, thanks so much for joining us. That's all the time we have for today. We'll see you next time on Real Estate Resource TV.